All right. Hello, and welcome to everybody out there. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and you're watching a show about ham radio, amateur radio. If you're out there listening on WBCQ on international shortwave on 7490, I would love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. You can join our show by just going on any Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central. You can join our show by going to w5kub.com. Like to ask a favor of everyone out there, if you will, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a whole lot there. And it helps us to advertise our show, and YouTube then will promote the show and show it to other people that are looking for other topics similar to, ham radio. Katie was going to be with us tonight, but Dwayne always messes things up. Dwayne is out of town. He's flying in, so Katie has a long drive tonight to go to the airport to pick Dwayne up. Now, I don't know if she'll pop in a little later during the show. She may. I don't know, but that's where Katie is tonight. She's heading to the airport. Let's go around the room here and see who we have. Looks like the first person popping up here is going to be Glenn. Glenn, how you doing, man?
Oh, hanging in there, Tom. Like I say, I keep saying it every week, and I keep getting a little bit closer. They starting to work on cleaning off the workbenches, and the problem is, for every one thing I move off, 5 more get put on. And the good news is those 5 things are new projects. The bad news is that's the only place I can put them. So it's
well,
it's a mountain of stuff.
I tell you, I can't do one project without the place getting pretty messy. I don't know how you do 5.
Well, that's why I have the huge workspace over there.
Yeah,
I've got 24 linear feet of workbench, 3 feet deep, and shelves and everything. 700 parts in those parts bins. So
well, you got enough here to keep you busy. I'm sure.
I do, and UPS, FedEx, Amazon, they deliver every day, and they're just like, "What are you building?"
All right. I get a lot of stuff too. I order. I'm always ordering little gizmos or parts or something like that, and every day they're in the mailbox, so they get delivered, and I have no idea what I'm getting that day. It's kind of like Christmas every day. Something gets delivered. I have to open it up to see what's in there. So that's fun.
I have a list of the things I want to buy.
All right.
And right near the top of the list, and I'm slowly working down, is a speech recognition and voice synthesizer shield for the Arduino.
Well, that'd be cool.
So we're going to start tinkering with some voice recognition projects.
Well, that'd be cool. Think you can recognize my voice?
Not as gravelly as it is tonight.
Yeah, probably not. Boy, I got terrible sinus tonight, man.
Yeah, it's that change in weather.
Yeah. Hey, Alan, what have you been up to, Alan?
Hey, good evening. Good to see you guys. Hanging in there. Well, my bench is a little messy, as you can see behind me here, but I don't have as much space as you have there, Glenn. But it's on either side of the bench are shelves just full of stuff. But my work area is not that big. So I always have to clear things off when I want to work on something. But anyway, and I suffer from some of the same problem. I got a list of things that I want to order. In fact, I've been thinking about picking up another camera for doing my videos with. I use this Canon camera for all my video stuff. It does a great job, but it's big. But I thought about picking up something like a GoPro or something like that, but I just don't know how well that would work in the kind of normal lighting that I've got in my shop. It's not going to be. I know the GoPro is kind of geared towards being an outdoor action camera, but
yeah.
The nice thing is that it's kind of small and it does some pretty high quality, but I was just wondering whether I'd treat myself for Christmas for that or not. But anyway, we'll see.
Well, Alan, I've got a camera just like the one you showed me there.
Yeah.
And the HDMI port was going bad in it.
Oh,
I sent it up to let's see, who makes that? Is that a Sony or no? I don't think it's Sony.
Mine's a Canon. I'm
Canon.
not
That's
sure
what I had. I had the Canon.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Canon, and they told me it's going to cost $800 to fix it.
Geez, that's about how much the camera costs.
Yeah, I know
say,
it. So I said no. I said just put it back together. So I have the camera here. The camera still records and it works fine. It just I can't use the HDMI port on it. So I bought me a little. Well, it's not a little. It's a Sony 4K camera here. I don't think it's necessary, but I've got a GoPro. It's got a HDMI output on it, and it will work. So there's a lot of little HD cameras that you can get out there for $40, $50 too. So,
well, yeah, this would be something that I use to record my videos with, not
Yeah.
for doing the live streaming stuff. So,
yeah. All right. Well, very good, dear. Glad to see you tonight.
yep, good to be here.
Rich, how you doing up in New Jersey? Well, let's see. That's where Alan is in New Jersey.
Yeah, but we're in two different parts of New Jersey, so different weather.
Oh, really different, huh? How you doing up there, man?
Sometimes. Good. Had a nice Thanksgiving. Hope everybody else did too. And that looking forward to the rest of the holiday season here. And trying to stay warm. It's getting appropriately cold, like in the upper 30s today for the high temperature. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit warmer. But, hey, it's the end of November, beginning of December, so it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it was a little cool here, and I think in the next day or two it's going to get back up to 65. That's Fahrenheit.
We're supposed to go up to about 55 on Thursday, but then it's supposed to get cold again.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like, to me, I don't know if I've been busy or what's going on, but it seems like that Thanksgiving was weeks ago, but it hadn't been but just a few days. And thinking about things now, there's not that many days till Christmas. You got all your Christmas shopping done.
That's right.
Maybe get your shopping done.
We got most of it done, doing most of it online and a little bit in person. So,
Yeah. Well, all right.
got an early start because of supply issues.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, we got to get the supply problem fixed. I'm still waiting on my home generator, my all-home generator. I bought it in July, and now they're telling me maybe the end of December I'm going to get it. But what can I do? I can't do anything about it. And like Glenn said, it may be the fact that it's just chips or something that they can't get to finish them up with. I don't know.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, the shortage is just horrible.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's just jump right into it tonight, and let's talk about CQ Magazine and what is coming up. So why don't you go ahead and take it there, Rich?
Alrighty. Well, first of all, before I do that, I want to congratulate Glenn on the publication of his latest book, More Arduino for Ham Radio,
All right.
published by our friends up in Newington. And
Thank you.
Congrats, Glenn.
Thanks.
I've just got it. Haven't had a chance to look at it too deeply, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's really going to be interesting.
Well, the cool thing is you can use it as a paperweight. You can use it to just drop on flies. It's heavy enough.
Very multi-purpose book. Yes,
Yeah, it's a
indeed.
multi-purpose book.
So, also, before I start talking about the December issue of CQ, I would like to apologize on behalf of all of us here to our print subscribers for our very, very delayed shipment of our last few issues here. I just want to assure everyone that we are working very hard to get everything back on track, get the presses rolling again, get them out the door. And it is our plan, once we get things moving, to print and mail all of the back issues that have not been mailed so far, so that people will not miss out on any additional print issues. And hopefully it will all happen sooner than later, and we're doing our best to make that happen. So just wanted to address that for a minute. Moving on to December, which will be available in digital form tomorrow. Our digital editions have thankfully been consistently on time. December is our technology special each year, and this year we are just packed with stuff. And you know, this is one of my favorite issues of the year because it just lets us go all over the place in terms of technology. And this one really does. We range from real basics. The learning curve column this month is an introduction to inductors. And we go all the way from there to some pretty heavy duty stuff. In our antennas column, we have two guest columnists, W1IS and KC1DSQ, who frequently write for us anyway. And they're doing a deep dive into end-fed half-wave antennas, looking at the basic design of the antenna for the first time in decades, really, and looking at the different ways of feeding them, of what kind of transformers work best for which bands, where to put a transformer in the line. Very, very fascinating article. And then we also have a guest columnist in our MFLF, medium and low frequency column, Roger Crofts, VK4YB, who writes about a new theory propagation for long haul DX on 2200 meters. That's also very interesting. But that's our range. So in between, we start out the issue with an article on the centennial of DXing, which you probably also read about in other places. It's the centennial of the transatlantic tests, which provided the first confirmed one-way reception of amateur radio signals across the Atlantic in 1921. Our article has a different perspective. It's by Carl Lutzel Schwab and K9LA, who is, of course, a propagation expert and co-author of our latest shortwave propagation handbook. And he's looking at the anniversary from the perspective of propagation and the beginning of the East Coast advantage in both DXing and contesting. He traces different paths between two different stations who were heard in the Poltu on that during the tests in two different locations. AG4W takes us to the moon and back with the story of his introduction to moon bounce. And while we're looking up in space, W4DNN writes about satellite rag chewing on a shoestring. And Glenn, you might be interested in this. NZ0I and WB8WFK, the amateur radio direction finding co-coordinators, have an article on ArduCon, an Arduino-based Foxhunt transmitter controller. That's also very, very interesting. We take you down to South America for a tour of PY2 Golf Nancy, Brazil's first public web SDR station. So if you want to hear what propagation is sounding like in Brazil, you can tune this in on the web. You can also tune in the Oscar 100 geostationary satellite, the only geostationary ham satellite we have in orbit, and you can tune that in and listen to stations talking on there. KE3FL has an article on an FL Digi computer interface that he built from his junk box. And we take a little trip outside of direct amateur radio with K3BEQ and GD0NFN on tracking and analyzing digital transmissions from aircraft. Now, if Katie was still here, she would probably be tracking Dwayne's flight with something like FlightAware. And you can contribute to the information that FlightAware has by building one of these receivers and downloading the digital transmissions from the aircraft that are flying over you and feeding them into FlightAware's network and help post locations. So it's very interesting, just general technology stuff there. W2IY has a piece on the technology behind the uninterruptible power supply and how it really isn't totally uninterruptible. It's there to give you enough time to properly shut things down, but very interesting look at how they actually work and what they do. Our emergency communications editor, N8BHL, has an article this month on using the technology we have for EMCOM. A lot of things out there that are available and not necessarily used by a lot of people. Things like, FLDigi and WinLink and things like that, and making the best use of things like that. Our Analog Adventures editor, KL7AJ, has an interesting piece on haywire state. And you have to read that, of course, to know what that's about. Beyond the borders of technology, since our cover says communications and technology, moving to the communication side, we have our second running, I have this in 2 pages, so it's going to be hard to see, of our periodic table of contesting with the major contests for each weekend in 2022. And that was a big hit last year, and I think it will be again this year as well. A nice thing you can put on your wall if you're into contesting, and keep tabs on what's coming up on what weekend throughout the year. We've also got our announcement for the WPX RIDI contest, which is coming up in February, and nominations open for our DX contest and Amateur Radio Halls of Fame. Those open January 1st and close March 1st. Among some of our other columns this month, for the shortwave listeners out there, our listening post column has the latest logs plus news on China radio giving real names to its stations. They generally have been just numbers, CNR 7 or CNR 14. They've decided to give them names now. So CNR 2 is China Business Radio. CNR 7 is Greater Bay Area Radio. So you have some better idea of what these stations are about or where they're from. In kit building this month, Joe Eisenberg, K0NEB, takes us on a trip west to, where is he going here? Let's see. I think Pacificon, and building the Sputnik kit, which looks like a lot of fun. We have our brand new Ham Radio Explorer column debuting this month, and that's one of 2 pieces in this issue on FM simplex activity. The second one is our VHF Plus column. So, a lot of people get started in ham radio with a 2-meter handheld or mobile rig, and they get themselves locked into the local repeater, and that's about it. There's a lot out there on simplex as well. And both of these articles kind of lead you through what you can do and how you can do it without the need for repeaters. Our propagation editor, NW7US, takes a look at the progress of Solar Cycle 25 and his forecast for the rest of the cycle. And finally, we have our annual index of articles for the year. And that basically brings us to the back end of the issue. So we, of course, wish everyone a very happy holiday season. Happy Hanukkah, which is going on now, to those who celebrate it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year later on in the month. Again, the December issue of CQ will be available online on the digital version as of tomorrow, and in print as soon as we can get September, October, and November out the door. They will be followed closely behind by December. But we're very much hoping to have all this happen before the end of December. Got our fingers crossed.
All right. Hey, you mentioned tonight the in-fed antenna. All the many years I've been a ham, I never really knew much about the in-fed antenna. Was it in the handbooks? Maybe, but I don't remember it, but I played around with one in the past year or so. It's kind of pretty neat antenna. And guess what? Tonight, Raisa, one of our new members, Raisa R1BIG from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm gonna spoil things here. She's gonna be on in a few minutes and talk about in-fed antennas. So that works out real good, you know.
That's what I use with all my portable operating. I've got a little tri-band end fed that I use for whenever I go operating portable on vacation. I love it. It works amazingly well.
Yeah. So, you know, it's going to be fun to see what she has to say. And she kind of has a unique application for this in-fed. And I need to stop talking about it. I don't want to spoil things. But it's going to be fun. But, hey, Rich, thanks so much, man, for giving us a look into CQ for December. I can't believe it's December, man. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I got to get September, October, and November first.
Well, it's coming.
Hopefully
it's
very
coming.
soon.
It's coming.
I've got plenty of reading to do. So.
Yeah, well, you're so busy right now. You don't have time to do a lot of reading. Get those prices
actually,
showing.
at work, I have an hour each day that, you know, can't play much online, so I bring my own reading material.
Just a quick note on that. For any of our print subscribers, we will be happy to send you a PDF of the digital editions of those while you're waiting for the print issues. Just send us an email, and we will send those back to you so you can get caught up on your reading.
And that's
and
great.
Then, when you get the paper one, you can put it in your archives.
That's great, man. A PDF is just as good.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You can't copy the page of the PDF and put it in a folder of things you want to try and build.
I can.
I just take the magazine, stick it in my scanner behind me, scan it, copy it, print it.
Man, you're old school, man.
Yes,
hey,
I'm
someday
old school.
I'll teach you how to copy a page off a PDF, man. It's real simple.
Dude, I just figured out how to put a shopping list on this phone.
Yeah,
Okay?
I understand what you're talking about, man. I understand what you're talking about. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Rich. Thank you, man. And
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah.
All right, very
Thank
good.
That's very rich.
Let me remind our co-host there, if you're probably not going to hear the audio here on this next segment, just turn on your YouTube if you want to hear the audio. So, guys, okay, so very good. Well, let's move on into, while we're talking about in-fed, well, I shouldn't say that. It's supposed to be a secret. I shouldn't be talking about that. Anyway, let's just see what Raisa has to say about things, and she is always fun. She makes ham radio fun, and look her up on her Facebook group. It's just YLRAISA, YL Raisa. So look her up and join her Facebook group. Be sure and tell her, you know, that you came from here, you came from W5KUB or Roundtable, so she'll know how you found her there. But let's bring her in now and just see what kind of fun we can have. Okay, well, hey, it's time for our next segment with Raisa. That's she is what, R1BIG. I got to start remembering that call, but it's a simple call to remember. R1BIG. Raisa, coming to us from St. Petersburg, Russia. And we're so glad to have Raisa with us here. Every couple weeks she's going to be with us. It's a terrible time difference, so it's about 4 o'clock in the morning for her during the show, so we kind of pre-record this. But she still has fun, and we have fun with her talking about ham radio. And let me bring her in and just say hello to her. Hello, Raisa. How are you?
Hello, Tom. Thank you. I'm very fine. And how are you today?
Well, I'm doing fine. And, you know, it's a holiday here. It's this is a famous holiday in the United States called Thanksgiving. Well, actually, it was yesterday. And we're having ours one day late, trying to get all the family together because our families are getting grown now, and they're visiting other members of the family, so it's very difficult to get us all together. Do you guys have big family holidays in Russia?
So, first of all, my congratulations on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
How should I pronounce?
Thanksgiving. Thanks. Like thank you. Like thank you. It's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. It is interesting holiday for me because we don't have something the same here. And it is nice to have such a good holiday and to celebrate it with the family. Yes, we have also here big families and small. It's different, but in my family, I have my sister and my brother, and I have 3 nieces and one nephew. We are a big and very friendly family, and it is nice to have any celebration together. For example, in Russia, we celebrate Sylvester or Happy New Year day, New Year nights, and it is I think the main holiday here in Russia.
Well, that's great. We always have fun with these holidays. I think Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays here, and it's a time that, like you say, we get all the families together and we just have a good time, and we really like that. Well,
Nice.
hey, let's talk a little about one of your trips now. In a few minutes, we're going to see a video. You brought us a video. I think you went to a lake or something. What video will we be looking at tonight?
It is the video about my first experience with the end-feed antenna, and it was in a very beautiful place. I like it very much. It is a lake in the forest, quite far from the city. For example, from my house, it is about 100 kilometers, and there are no many people, and quiet and very nice place to be, and I spent a lot of time during my last 2 summers there, and some of my videos was shooting there on this place, and yeah, I like it very much. I hope that everyone will enjoy the nature in the video.
Well, one of the things that impresses me about your videos, not only you have ham radio, but you have great scenery, beautiful scenery, or you're at a historic place, and you're mixing and combining historic and beauty with ham radio, and it just makes a really nice video. Are you doing that intentional, on purpose?
Oh, yes. Or every time I thought about the place, and the problem only in my English, and I always want to say about the place more, but sometimes I couldn't do it, but I hope that every time it will be getting better and better, because I learn English and I can now easier to explain something about the place, and yeah, it's interesting to choose different places. And the second, my idea to show not only the ham radio, but to show a little bit some pieces of my countries, some pieces of the nature, because our audience around the world, as wild world, and many people from the other places, countries watched the video, and it is something different for them. And I like also to look for the other videos from the other point of our planet, and to see the nature, to see what is around history and so on. Yes, it is like a second idea of my videos.
Well, all right. Well, very good. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the video and let's just see what you're doing there. So here we go.
Hello my friends, this is Raisa R1BIG, and today I will test a new antenna. It is new only for me. I know that many experienced hams use it. It is antenna wire. I need it, and my idea to put it across this lake. I will do it, and I'm not sure that I will be successful. We will see. It is a small experience for me, and I hope it will work. This antenna is called end feed. It means it will be powered by end. What else do I need? It is rope. It should be very long rope. It is a cable, of course. And my lovely advice for us for checking SWR. It will be very helpful, especially in this type of antenna. Это прям тяжело. So, look like our antenna. My antenna is on the air above the lake, and it is the end. It is end feed antenna. This is end of this antenna, and this magic box helps to transform from 3500 ohms to our usual 50 ohms. And this box was made by my very good friend Alexei, Radio Alpha 1 Alpha Mike Oscar. Лёш, привет! Спасибо тебе. I need to test how SWR on the different bands. It's very interesting, really, because it's an unusual situation, and my antenna across the lake. It was a small adventures to put it on the other side of the lake, and I will test. I will start test from the lowest band, and it is 80 meters band, and you can see that the SWR is good, and we can use this band. Next one, it is 40 meters band. Like you see, on 40 meters band is also very good. Then we will check 20 meters band. It looks like it is SWR is good on the end of our band. And then we check 21 megahertz. It still works, and we can use 50 meters band too. I'm really very happy. It's very interesting to have only one antenna and to make QSO on the 4 bands. Really great. Calling CQ and standing by.
Oscar Hotel 6 Hotel. You are coming here in Ilmajoki in the western part of Finland, and it's like you are on my neighborhood. This is my first Kuso in this my new call, Oscar Hotel 6 Hotel.
This is Radio 1 Bravo India Go stroke portable QRZ.
Oscar Hotel 1 Mike November. Hello, Raisa, BTVS 59 also here in South Finland, city of Turku. Yeah, QRZ Raisa, yeah, everybody knows Jukka. XIO82 Bravo Radio.
It is very interesting to me to walk so many stations from Finland because I'm very new on 80 meters band. Now I will try on 40 meters band how my end feet works in the 40 meters band. Роман I, Борис Иван Галина, дробь поля.
Радио 7, Борис Иван Галина, дробь поле. Радио Анна 3, Анна Харитова, Николай. Добрый вечер, спасибо. 5-9, Юрий, город Покров, Владимирская область, например.
I got a very good report on 40 meters band and now the next one it is 20 meter band. We will see. And feed antenna above the lake. This is R1BIG. Mike, back to you.
Okay, yeah, very strong signal here. 5-9, very strong, okay. Give me a call, lady.
Radio 1 Bravo India Golf.
Okay, now it's okay. I can copy you. There's a QSP in the band anyway. Location here in Abu Dhabi, capital city from United Arab Emirates. 5-9 here in Abu Dhabi, over.
So my friend, it was a very nice experience for me, even better than I expected. You see my antenna. It works very good and I have to swim myself to another bend of the lake to pick up my antenna back. Have you already used end-feed antenna? It is very interesting for me. Please leave your comments below, your opinion. Maybe you think that another type of antenna is better. It is very interesting to know your experience. Thank you very much for your watching. Best 73 and 88 for you. Bye bye.
All right, well, we're back, and boy, hey, that was a great video, Raisa. I tell you, you go to some of the prettiest, most beautiful places and have so much fun. I don't know, I wish all ham radio operators were like that. Some are a little boring, but you put fun in ham radio. Hey, you showed us that end-fed, and we had a question in our chat room, and they wanted to know a little information about the end-fed box, like who made it. Can you tell us anything about it?
Yes, of course. It was made by my very good friend Alexei. His call is Radio Alpha 1 Alpha Mike Oscar. He helps me a lot with antennas, and during my summers I use different type of antennas. It is dipoles in the different way for like inverted V or like a dipole and so on. And I tried GP antenna and also NFIT, and in this video it was my first experience, and I like it very much because if you need one antenna and want to have some different bands, it is the best way. Because like you watched, I had 4 different bands with using only one antenna, and sometimes it could be a very nice decision to use it. For example, it's not, it isn't need much or big place, for example, to hang up different antennas, or it is nice, for example, to use during the contest, because after this video, in the end of August, I was participate in RDA contest. Do you know this Russian contest?
I'm not familiar with it. No.
It is a Russian district contest, and there is in this contest there are different categories, and one of them it is portable position, because you know, I have not here my shack in my small flat, and I can work only portable. And there are not so many contests which is for portable working too. And RDA, Russian Districts Award, Russian Districts Contest, has the portable category, and it was also my first experience, and I used this NFIT antenna and was very lucky. I had 4 different bands, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters band, and it worked very well. And I was very happy to use NFIT antenna, this type of antenna in this case.
Well, it is. It's really good to have a multi-band antenna, because it just makes things simpler. And when you get one antenna that works on multiple bands, you're much happier. And I never used an NFIT most all the years that I've been a ham. Recently, I tried one, and I was very impressed with it. It was it's a nice little antenna. So
it is always interesting for me to use different antennas and to understand which is better for this place. For example, is it enough open, or is it enough place for hang up the antenna? Or for example, if you don't have trees, you could use only GP antenna. And you know that I travel a lot, and in the different places I took different antennas, and it's very interesting to learn how it works in different. For example, even if the soil is different, it could be also it depends of the soil.
it will work different, yes. And you know, hey, when you think about putting a wire across a lake, that is not soil there, so that's even different. So the soil will affect an antenna. I guess the lake might affect the antenna.
Yes, and lake helped very much, and it was a nice or funny situation when I swimming with kayak the first time to the other side of the bank of the lake. My rope wasn't enough, and I had to swim back to take longer rope and to go once more to the opposite side of the lake. It was very funny.
You know, when you showed the wire, you were holding the wire. I said, that's not enough. No, that will not make it. I didn't know how much rope you had, but it looked like a
You are right.
long way. Yeah, long way. All right. Well, hey, great video, and I know you had a lot of fun there. You got to do some swimming, you got to do some kayaking, and enjoy nature, and that was great. Hey, we had another question in the chat room earlier from Norvell Kennedy, and he asked us about the name of ham radio, and what do you think, being from Russia, is the name ham radio a good name for the hobby? Should it be called something else? What do you think?
It is a really interesting question, and I don't know what is the origin of the word ham and how it came to our hobby. Here in Russian, we have no ham radio, we have amateur radio, and we use only the words amateur radio. Радиолюбительство in Russian it will be. And I wonder if it is really a topic of discussion. You have an idea that it should be in the other way, not ham radio, only to use amateur radio.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of discussion over the years where the name ham radio came from. No one seems to, there are different stories. To me, if I say to someone on the street, I'm a ham radio operator, to me it don't sound as good. If I say I'm an amateur radio operator, now it sounds like I'm a beginner, I'm an amateur. So I don't know what's best, but it's a great hobby. And I guess we should not be worried too much about the name.
Mm-hmm. I think the name it is important, but I'm not confused with the ham radio, and I use it, and I use also the amateur radio, and both of these names are good for me. No problem.
Well, okay, Raisa, it is getting late there, very late. Your time, we've taken a lot of your time today. I want to thank you so much for taking your time to be part of our show. We're looking forward to what you're going to bring to us next time, and it's going to be exciting and it's going to be fun. I know that for a fact. So I'll say good night to you. 73, 88, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you soon, okay?
My pleasure, Tom. Thank you so much. It was nice to speak to you today, and hope that video will be good for your subscribers. Once more, my congratulations on the Thanksgiving Day. It is a nice holiday. Now I know what it is. Thank you so much. 73 and 88, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, and hey, I don't want to forget to do this, but let me just tell everybody, go see Raisa's YouTube channel. There it is right there. Just go to YouTube and go to YLRAISA, and you will find her there, and she's got some great YouTube videos there. I think you'll enjoy it. So check her out there. She also has a blog. Just do a search for YLRAISA for her blog, and it's cool. Okay, well, good night, and thank you so much for being with us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Good night.
All right, well, that was fun, and like I said, she puts fun into ham radio. What do you think about the infed there across the lake, Alan? What?
Well, I use an infed whenever I go do my portable operating, but I never swam across a lake to either put it up or take it down.
Yeah.
So although I don't, mine is relatively short. It's only about 45 feet long. It's loaded. So it's easy to kind of string off of the second floor deck of the beach house, and sometimes I'll get it close to the bay that the house is on. But hey, pretty cool. And I wonder, how tight that thing had to be pulled, to go across the lake and not have it sag and touch the lake in the middle. But I would imagine I'd put quite a bit of tension on that thing to keep it out of the water.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. So I every couple weeks she'll be with us, and will be bringing us some of her adventures like that. I think you're kind of neat to watch.
Yeah, the end-fed antenna is a great one too. I mean, it's great for portable operating like that, because you really only have to support it at one end, and that's usually the tough part when you're bringing an antenna out portable, is to try to get it, to get it up, especially a dipole, to try to get it on two ends and that type of thing. And end-fed's real easy. And you don't have any real stringent counterpoise requirements because of the high input impedance. So,
yeah, it's got really high voltage on the ends.
Yep.
I guess at the feed point too, right?
Yeah, because it's essentially an open circuit at the end. And that's so you typically got a 3 to 5 kilo ohm feed point impedance, and therefore in order to deliver the power into that kind of impedance, the voltage is very high. So.
Yeah, and I built one here a year or so ago. Had it on the show, and but I wanted to run a kilowatt into it, and that
the voltage can get really high with that.
Really high there, and there's a way you can match it with window line or open line, I guess is what you call it. It's a quarter wave of open line, and actually, it makes it a J-pole, really, and you got a half wave piece of wire on there. And in
fact, this month's QST that I just got yesterday, they actually have an end-fed vertical fed with kind of a J-pole type feed, a quarter wavelength feed, and that same technique could be used, obviously, for an end-fed horizontal or just an end-fed wire. But
that's what I did for this one. I stood it up vertically. I did a half wave on 40 meters. Had a quite high tree limb up there, and I put me a half wave straight up, and so I matched it with the open feed line. And boy, the SW it really matched almost perfect, man. It was really good. I came in the house and checked it out with the rig and tuned up, and hey. Perfect SWR, man. It looked really good. I keyed up for maybe 5-10 seconds, whatever. I went back out and looked at it, and the open feed wire was on fire. It was melting and dripping at the end of it out there. So I went to a different match on that, but high voltage for sure.
Oh yeah. I figure you're delivering that amount of power to the antenna, and just think how much voltage you need to deliver that kind of power into 4 or 5 k ohms. So
yeah. All right. Well, look, hey, everybody, go to Raisa's YouTube channel, look at it, subscribe to it, and join our Facebook group. On Facebook, just do a search for YLRAISA. Search for it, join our Facebook group. She's got so many things that she's doing out there in ham radio, and she's a contester, and she has so much fun with ham radio, and you'll be surprised on all the things she's doing there. If you get in there on her Facebook group, tell her you came to her from Roundtable, or mention Roundtable or W5KUB, so she'll know that you're part of the group here. And she also is a part of our group, in our Facebook group. So if you do leave comments in our Facebook group called W5KUB, Raisa will see them. Let's see. This is a good chance here for me just to, good opportunity to mention, if you would, join our Facebook group. We've got over 12,000 hams in our Facebook group. It's all about ham radio, no personal stuff. It's just called W5KUB. It's actually called Amateur Radio Roundtable, but that's too much to type in. If you type in just W5KUB, it'll bring up our Facebook group for hams, and join it. There's a lot of great people in there, and it follows a lot of things that we're doing with the show. Would love to have you there. I get a lot of requests of people wanting to be my friend, and I don't approve anybody practically. I mean, I think in my personal Facebook group, I may have 30 or 40 people total, and it's just family mostly. I get hundreds or thousands of requests to be friends, and I just didn't want to mess my family Facebook group up with 12,000 people in it. So if you need me or want me, you can always contact me. I probably spend 90% of my time on the W5KUB Facebook group. That's where you can find me there. All right, well, Alan, I know you need to cut out here in a few minutes, and you had a segment, but we'll do it next week.
Yep,
And
that'll be good.
tell us what it's going to be about again.
Yeah, so I thought maybe we'd have a little chat about, a lot of people getting these inexpensive scopes these days, and most of them have got an FFT function to show frequency domain content, kind of like a spectrum analyzer, and I'll say kind of like a spectrum analyzer. But I thought we'd just kind of cover the basics of using an FFT on a digital scope.
Well, that sounds cool.
All right, so we'll do that next week.
All right, we'll do that. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot.
All right,
All
good
right.
to see you guys, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment, guys. Stand by. Spice up your... This portable radio is perfect for staying in or venturing out and working your favorite bands this winter. Happy holidays from ICOM. The IC705 is a perfect sidekick and QRP companion, base station, features, and functionality at the tip of your fingers in a portable package covering HF 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters. This compact rig weighs in at just over 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF bands and IF sampling for frequencies above 25 megahertz. Some of the features include 4.3-inch touchscreen with live band scope and waterfall, sideband CW, AM, FM, as well as full D-Star functions, has a micro USB connector, Bluetooth, and WLAN, integrated GPS with antenna and GPS logger. The HM243 speaker microphone comes standard. The perfect accessory for the IC705 is the optional LC192 backpack. It has a special compartment for your IC705 and room for all your accessories. Our family of favorite ICOM amateur radios are also available this holiday season, and they make the perfect gift. Don't forget the 9700, the 9300, and the 7610 base stations, and the ID52A handheld coming soon. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
All right, and we are back. All right. Hey, one of the things, let me just give you guys an update. We've got a lot of people in the Facebook group that's following our latest launch. And we've got W5KUB 104 in the air. Let me tell you a little about 104. When it went to sleep tonight, it was crossing over Bermuda. After 36 hours, it had made it to Bermuda and was heading toward the UK. And it'll come down through the UK and across through France, and then it'll go down into Africa, where it will make a left-hand turn, and eventually go across the Middle East, and it'll go across Canada. We hope it makes it around the world. You know, we've been flying the high-dollar balloon because that gave us the best chance. That was the SBS. But that SBS balloon cost about $170 each flight. So we've had some pretty bad luck with the SBS balloon the last 3 or 4 times, and over the years we have. And believe it or not, the balloons we're flying on this flight right now cost $1.49, and they're $1.49, 36-inch Chinese balloons, and we're running 2 of them in tandem. It'll look something like that right there. They're just tied together with strings. Each one of them has about 1/10 of a cubic meter of capacity. So they won't get us a lot of altitude. The reason we put 2 together is to get a little bit extra altitude. That increased it by about 3,000 feet. The problem with these smaller balloons is that we're maxed out at about 31,000 feet. The SBS flies at about 44,000, which gets us over storms. And at 31,000, it's pretty critical because you're getting really close to cloud tops and storms. But we kept it simple this time. A solar array this time. It's flat. It's pointing straight up. Typically in the winter, you don't get as much tracking with this, but we want to keep it light and simple. There's the tracker in the center. That's what we launched yesterday. This is what the balloon looks like inflated. You can see about the size. They were doing some testing right there, some pressure testing. And we found that this material, this balloon, will withstand the pressure. I think it will actually withstand more pressure than the SBS balloon will. So we were real happy to try to fly this. We know it's got limitations to it, but we were able to take the pressure up really, really high on these balloons, higher than what they would experience at altitude. So there's what it looks like laying flat. It is actually clear. So for all you guys who've been following the ants, the journey continues. And W5 KUB 104 is in the air, and so far we're up. Now we're going to have some issues probably. We're going to have some issues. Let me show you what's coming up here. If here's the jet stream that we're in right now, and if you look at the jet stream, here's the U.S. right here, and we're presently about right here. So you can see this says about 71 miles per hour. Now, as we move on in this jet stream, there's 120, 130, 140, 50. You know, there's some pretty good speeds in this jet stream here, well over 100 miles an hour. And it's going to bring us down. It's going to bring us down. Actually, you know, it may be turning here. It was going to come straight down to Africa, but it may be turning here. And if so, it's going to go right over Raisa. Raisa. It may go right over St. Petersburg right there. So that's what we're dealing with there. But the problem we're facing with this balloon is, let's see. I was going to show you cloud tops. We got some cloud tops as high as 30 and 35,000 feet. Now, I won't pull those up right now, but you know, I don't know if we're going to be lucky and go around them, or if we're going to get caught with a storm. This is a long shot to try to get around the world with $2 $1.49 balloons. It's a long shot, but things are looking good from launch to even throughout the day. So we're real happy. We'll check it out in the morning to see if it's still up and running and moving, and if so, you can track it. Just go to w5kub.com, and you can track the balloon by clicking on balloon up there. I've got a site made up for tracking. It should come alive about, I'm guessing, about 6 o'clock in the morning, roughly Central Time. It will probably wake up somewhere east of Bermuda. And let's just hope it just keeps going here. So, Glenn, let's jump over to you. Glenn, you got anything going there you want to comment about?
Not really. I mean, I was interested in the end-fed antenna.
Yeah.
I've got an antenna that I want to play with. I bought it, just have never really had a chance to set it up. It's JMR Sales took 4 of the MFJ 20-meter ham sticks.
Yeah.
And came up with a mount for them and actually created a portable mini beam for 20.
Oh, that's cool.
That actually fits in a little carrying case that I made, and want to set that up and play with it and see how it works on 20 one day, but just need some time. It's coming, but not today.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna put the Zoom link out there, and we're gonna invite people to join us here on Zoom, and they'll actually be on the show. So here's the Zoom link. All you gotta do is click on this link, and you'll join the show live here. There we go. I should get it right there. Yeah, just click on that Zoom link right there and join us.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get started over the Thanksgiving holiday, and too much else happened.
Oh man, lots going on, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm retired. I'm retired here. I'm retired, and I don't have enough time to do all the things I want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
I started a half a dozen things and never once got around to the one thing I was wanting to do.
Yeah. Oh, we got Charlie in here now. Let's get Charlie in here. Let's see. There we go. Here we go. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, man?
Hello, how are you? Hello, everybody.
Hello. Looks like Brett's joining us.
My laptop is still running, so
yeah.
If I disappear, it's the laptop.
So when you're on building power, commercial power, does it still go off? Does it still?
I'm with the power supply. Yes, it suddenly goes off.
Oh yeah, well on the power supply, does it still cut off or does it stay on?
Yes, but it's the problem of the battery, which is it's already in parts. It's
starting to get it's swelling up, swelling and getting bigger.
Yeah. I've already how do you say? I've already bought another one. I'm waiting for it to arrive.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get it fixed.
A lot of money, but.
Well, I guess you could take the battery out and still power it with the power.
Well, this newer laptops, the battery is like part of the computer, so you cannot really.
All right.
I can unplug it, I think, but.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we got Brett in here with us, and I think I saw Steve join us. How you doing, Brett?
Oh, pretty good. I've been winterizing my antenna.
Yeah.
I have a Delta loop strung across the top of my house, and I've been making sure that the corners are held by garbage can bungees. The rubber garbage can. And so I replaced those to get it ready for winter. Make sure they wouldn't snap.
So is that your tower behind you there? It looks like it fell over.
No. I'm just leaning over the back of my tower.
Oh,
here.
Okay. I got
just
you.
a little one.
I got you. All right, man. Well, well, you guys think of some good projects. I need another really good project to start on here with the show. I'm not planning to launch any other balloons this year, and probably not even into early next year. We've launched so many. We have launched so many the last year and a half. I would imagine we have probably spent $4,000 on balloon launches, in the last 2 years for the show. Many of those went in the ocean. So, It's an expensive hobby. I know. I was talking to a friend. He said, yeah, he launched. He said he just lost about $1,500 out in the ocean. So, man, there's a real need for a tracker supplier. You know, get that price down. I'm so glad we're building ours. We've cut the cost from, an average tracker. You can buy a tracker for around $100, but average trackers are going to cost you about $130 to $160, especially by the time you put the solar panels and all that stuff on it. We have saved a lot by just building our own tracker. We've got the tracker down to about $40, I think, in cost. But then, you got $180 for a balloon, you got the gas, you got all kinds of stuff. So it can get expensive, but we need a new project. So be thinking something simple that I can do here for the show. And I do want to try some moon bounce here. It's going to have to be something like digital, because I don't have the antenna systems or the power to do a voice contact. But with digital programs now, it's possible at 100 watts, especially if you talk to one of the big gun stations, you'll be able to make a contact through the moon. And that's one of the things we want to do. I got to get my rotor down. My rotor is not turning, and Glenn is the rotor man.
I got a box full of them.
You're the rotor man, so.
Actually, what is that typical ham 3, ham 4 rotor?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like a ham 4. I mean, it's not
Generally,
really
those
expensive.
bearings will just freeze up. You got to take it apart and re-grease it.
Yeah, and I did that probably last year, a year before. I may have put too much grease in there, but I did get the what is it, silicone or Teflon grease, whatever, something that's not supposed to get cold, and gum up on me. But it's really fun putting the thing back together. You start dropping those. I think it's got 57 ball bearings around the top. The top ring, and then underneath it's got like 54 around under the bottom or something. And when those ball bearings start dropping out of there, it's like, oh man.
Oh, it's a pain.
Yeah.
And if you need some, I actually have a kit that has some of those ball bearings.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, they sell a rebuild kit, or they sold a rebuild.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a box of rotators. I mean, a huge bin full.
Yeah.
Of mix and match. The older, CDE and the predecessor to the AR40 was the AR22.
Yeah.
Some of those old 1940s and 50s eras rotors and controllers. But amongst them was a nice set of ball bearings for a couple of the ham series.
Well, I shouldn't say this, but I think it would probably work if you were missing one or two ball bearings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to, but
yeah,
it's going to grind up in that channel.
Yeah.
You do want to do it right, but yeah, we'll run with missing a couple.
So I need to get that down on the back of my house here. I've got a flat back porch roof, and I've got a mount on top of that flat roof with my azimuth elevation antennas, and that place also catches a lot of leaves up there. I probably have about 800 pounds of leaves up there.
Yep. I got to get up on my roof and do the same.
I do need to get up there and blow all the leaves off the roof up there. And when I do that, I'll bring that rotor down and see if I can't fix it,
Yeah, I got to fix the 40-meter wire on my cobweb. It got hit by a pine branch the other week. I got to get that wire fixed and put back up.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of kits out there. You're talking about things to build. And when you did the thing on the SG237 auto tuner last week, I did some looking around.
Uh-huh.
And somebody's got like a $50 auto tuner kit out there that I'm looking at doing.
Well, there's several auto tuner boards that you can buy out there pretty cheap. You know.
Yes.
I guess they work okay. You know.
And then there's that SI chip, the 4732, I think it is. That's a full-blown sideband and CW receiver on a chip.
Yeah.
And I got the kit, but I haven't had a chance to finish it up.
Yeah, I think Tom has a bad experience with that kit. But I think, Tom, the problem is the speaker.
Well, maybe. And mine wasn't a kit. I just bought, the radio already. It had a nice case. It had a metal case around it.
Yeah, but the speaker, I've bought the kit and I've used a nice speaker and it sounds okay. Yeah. It has other issues, right? But I think your first problem is the speaker.
Well, maybe I should order it again. I don't know.
What did you do with the R1?
I sent it back. I kept it one day and turned around and sent it back. Yeah. Hey, the nice thing, and I tell you, I've been buying everything off Amazon now because it is so easy to send something back with Amazon. You don't like it, you send it back. Now, I have other experiences ordering direct from people. Like I bought a little cheap drone last year, $50. It's a little nice drone, but when it got here, one of the blades was broken where it goes on the shaft. So I tried to contact them, and I could never contact them to get it replaced or anything. So it's sitting over there with super glue on it. I've never flown it. I need to give it away. Maybe I need to give that away as a prize, maybe on a show coming up here soon. Yeah, it may fly. I'm worried when I glued the shaft back together that it may not be balanced really well, and that it could be, a little shaky. I don't know.
You probably could go to a hobby store online and get a replacement set of blades.
Well, it's not the blade. It's not the blade. It's the. I guess it's the shaft that goes into that. Is that like a little motor?
You'll probably have many spare parts for it. When my kids were young, I remember they are still young, but when they're small kids, my brother gave them as a present one of those helicopters, with RC helicopters with the two blades that counter rotate. So of course, he already gave it to me. It was already broken because he tested it. He tested it.
Yeah.
So then I've destroyed it with my kids. Of course, we played with it, and then we read the manual, and the manual said, no, you should start in a closed place like a for in a closed place, for example, a place where you play basketball or something like that, and start moving up 1 meter, then down, then like hours of instructions, and then go and fly outside. No, so
I had I bought before that, maybe 3 years ago. I bought a really small drone, and I tried to use it in the house, and that was a mistake. That thing went so fast. That thing went. It went up so fast, man. Yeah. And,
but then I went to the website of a brand, and it's incredible. Every model they have the model that you can buy, and beneath it you have spare parts. It says.
Oh yeah.
And you have everything, like the little gear of the axis of the, and you buy everything because they know that you destroy it.
Oh yeah.
So you may find everything.
Well, I won one of those nice, expensive drones at the last Memphis Ham Fest they had here. And do you want to know my expertise with it?
What?
It's still in the box.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm so afraid to take that out. And
I know.
Talk about flying in a small space. I cannot fly anything in this house. I bought one of the teeny tiny autopilot drones.
Yeah.
If it flies, it dies in this house. the cats have a 6-foot vertical leap.
Yep.
I'll take it out of the air.
That's in drones. Well, you know what? You know, there's a well-known ham who's a commercial drone pilot who might be able to help you, and that's Ria.
Oh, Ria? Okay. Well, I don't know if you know that. Yeah. I don't know if you know Emmett. Emmett also is.
Well, we've got a guy here in town. As a matter of fact, he did the drones for one of Tom's balloon launches.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted for is like when I go to a ham fest and I'm doing 70 miles an hour down the interstate, I want that drone out front of me, you know, filming back at me while I'm driving, you know. But I'm afraid I'll lose it. Oh, man.
Yeah, at 70 miles an hour, yeah, you will lose it.
I don't know. Don't know.
I've managed to break a drone, and it wasn't mine. It's long story short, I managed to break one which is like a plane, you know, and it's but it's all autopiloted. So if you fly it up, and then it will stay there flying in a circle, and then it has a protection that if you pull it down and it reaches like 30 feet in height, it will stay like that. So
that's good.
No matter what you do, you won't lose it. It's like if it gets out of range, it will come back. Well, I managed to break it.
This drone here. Here's my problem. This drone here, I've got to use my cell phone with it. It's got a little stand that it, you know, the phone goes on the control. But I got to interface the cell phone to the Wi-Fi and all that stuff, and you know, it's too much trouble. I need one. And it just comes all built together. It has its own screen and everything.
You know something, Tom? That's how I broke it, because I was using it together with another co-worker. It was the drone. It's from my boss, so I was using it with a coworker, and suddenly it was incredible. He was using his phone in the remote control, so suddenly his phone rang.
Oh no!
And he took the phone and he looked. It's the boss. So he went like that, and he gave me the control, and I was like blind.
You're blind.
Trying to fly the thing, and goodbye.
Yeah.
Now there's my 6-foot drone killer.
Yeah.
She can take them down. She actually has like a 5-foot 9-inch vertical leap because she can hit the ceiling fan poles at 3 a.m. And so, there's not a drone that can survive inside the house. So it stays.
They're getting much better in because they are so the autopilot is so good now that you don't have to be expert. Like you can fly in a very safe way.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. The one I've got does have auto land capability.
So, Charlie, do you have any government restrictions on flying a drone in Uruguay? Like altitude?
There's nothing written, I think, for what I understand. It's not like, I think in Great Britain that there are different licenses for pilot and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I know here in the States, most people are limited. They can't fly over 400 feet.
Well, the thing is that the drone itself has has in the firmware has depending on the proximity to airports,
right,
and air bases, it has limitations. So I remember once when I went to a friend's house, he's also a ham and he has his antenna and everything, and another friend brought his drone. And we wanted to film the antenna and everything. And he lives very close to the airport. And he tried to fly the drone, and the drone didn't fly very high. Like it flew some 30 feet high, and it didn't want to go up. So that was working really nice. of course, written the law, written the loophole, right? Everybody has, the codes to override that.
Yeah, I would imagine Glenn could probably change the firmware to where it would fly higher.
I mean, everything's legal until you get caught.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I'm not a drone guy. People really like to fly the drones and everything. I don't.
I'm not that interested myself. If I got an expensive drone, probably the first day it would be in the top of a tree.
Yep.
Somewhere, or I mean, it'd be cool to fly one time to see things, see your house from really high, but the next day it's not that much fun anymore.
Have to pull it out of my neighbor's windshield, things like that.
If you use it as a tool, or for example, Raisa, that in fact she's really good photographer. I haven't seen any videos yet, except the one you showed today, Tom. And it's incredible the way she compiles, she edits her videos.
Yeah,
really in a photographic
really
way,
She's really sharp. It's very professional. The way
very
her
professional.
Videos
Yeah, I think she has, It's not only a profession. It's like she has the. She has the knack.
She has the knack. You don't know what that
exactly.
means.
That's
you don't
the
know
word.
You may not know what the knack is.
No, but I understand the term. Yeah, it's natural to her. I think that the way she shows things.
Yeah.
Is she a producer?
Yeah. In fact, when I'm talking with her, I feel embarrassed because I can't make things look as good as she makes it look. And of course, our show is live, so just about everything goes on our show. Mistakes or anything like that, and really no editing. But her stuff always turns out perfect.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable. So I've already subscribed to her channel.
That's good. Good.
I'll be watching things later.
Hey, let me just make a quick announcement out there. If you're still listening on shortwave on 7490, you're tuned in to WBCQ shortwave out of Monticello, Maine. Yeah, Monticello, Maine. I think we're relatively low power up there. I think we're only about 50,000 watts. Not a really big transmitter we're on, but it is being heard in some remote countries. I tuned in last week from a remote SDR receiver. I tuned in from Iceland and a couple other countries, and I could listen to the show, and I thought that was pretty cool. So if you're out there, you're listening to ham radio show, amateur radio. It's about ham radio and all aspects of it. Send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com. Tom at w5kub.com, and let us know that you're out there listening. All right. Well, guys, Christmas is going to be here soon. I was going to buy me a new radio or something, but I can't find anything to buy. I don't know what I want.
How about I give you my list and you can buy it for me?
Well, that would be easy. That would be easy. I mean, for me to. Well, what am I saying? Yeah. Yeah, that would be easy. But then I wouldn't have the pleasure of using it. But no, seriously, I've been wanting to do something new and big and better in ham radio, and I just can't find anything out there. I looked through catalogs, I looked through everything. I can't find a single thing that I want. I guess I got everything I need,
Yeah, you got everything you need.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I have a list, but half the list is radios and the other half of the list is things like, laser cutter and a 3D printer and, that kind of stuff.
Well, Tom, I haven't heard you much on digital modes. Have you thought about getting more into that?
I'm not a real digital mode person. I did try some FT8 this past year, made some contacts. it's just kind of not my thing. You know, when you kind of grow up in hand, you know, us old guys, we're not digital guys. So
Speak for yourself.
well, we're not. Well, but
Yeah.
but I'm older. I'm older than you, Glenn. So us old guys, you know, been licensed for 60 years. You know, back then we didn't have any real digital. The only digital stuff we had was CW. Now it's pretty good, that digital mode. But you know, I don't know. Hey, I did copy the balloon today. I put it on a JT9, and when it was over Bermuda, I was copying the JT9 from the balloon. I mean, I got the capability here. I just, you know, if somebody can just design a little a script that lets it make contacts while I'm not here, I could go to the grocery store. I could go to the grocery store and places like that while it would make DX contacts, and I could come home and I'd have 25 contacts, you know.
Yep, they've almost got that, but you know they're not gonna do it that far. But
yeah,
it's about 3 steps short of that.
Oh, they have that for FT8.
Oh, do they?
Yes, there's a version of WSJTX called WSJTZ. You can leave it on all day, and it will just keep making contacts for you.
Oh man! Oh,
Where's the
I
fun
don't even know
in
what
that?
don't even know what to think.
Robotic ham radio.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
I mean, I like the digital modes, but I'm gonna make the contact myself. Period.
Hey,
That's
you know, hey,
Not
I probably,
discovered.
hey, 30 years ago, I got into Packet, and
Yeah.
when Chris was over in college, I'd send him a little email message through Packet, and to go 200 miles, it'd take it about 5 days to get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was one of the ones that put the first packet digipeater up in Alabama,
Yeah.
up on top of Mount Cheaha, the tallest point in Alabama. There, we had coverage from Birmingham to Atlanta.
Yep. Well, if you use JS8, which is a variation on FT8, you can rag chew. It's sort of like a cross between FT8 and RIDI.
Yeah. That's cool. You know, one of the things we ought to do one night.
How's that mod called? How's it called?
JS8.
JS8, or the program is JS8 call, and the protocol it uses is called JS8. It uses parts of FT8, but it goes its own way. It lets you rag chew as much as you want, and I've had hour-long conversations with people over it. It's fun.
Here's what we should do. Here's what we should do, Charlie. We should have a contest. All of our viewers here. One night we should have a contest, and we can use FT8, but you have to use a light bulb for the antenna. That's all.
You know that not even my 40-meter dipole will receive you, not even in digital mode.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, even with a light bulb, we ought to be able to work a few thousand miles, right?
Yeah.
I'm struggling just to hear your balloon with my own antennas and radio at home.
Steve, are you able to hear it, Steve?
Yeah.
No,
I can't hear your balloon yet. I'm all set up again.
Okay.
Today I listened with my vertical antenna, and then at about 1 a.m. UTC, I switched over to my end-fed half wave, and I get more signals, I think, off that one. So
yeah, I copied it a couple times today, and I did copy the JT9 today. I just wanted to see if it was there. The JT9 is set up where, you know, our whisper transmissions, the 2 whisper transmissions we do, gets our location down into a box that's about a little over a mile by, well, maybe 2 miles by 3 miles. It's a pretty small box. Your standard whisper is only a 4-digit, and that puts you in a box that's over 100 miles square. So with our modified second transmission on whisper, we get the 5th and 6th digit of the grid square, and that places us in a little 2-mile square box. But the JT9 that Bill wrote for us, it will place us within 50 feet when we add it all together. So that was kind of built that if this thing ever went down somewhere and somebody could copy the JT9, you could just about walk up to it and find it. Now, I've searched for the one that went down in a 2 by 3 mile box, and that's no easy thing. 2 by 3 miles is still pretty big, especially when you got forest and roads and farms and houses. 2 by 3 miles is pretty big. But you get it down to 50 feet, I think you could find it. Well, I hope it's still in the air tomorrow. We're pushing the limits here. We have flown so many of the majorly expensive balloons that I just felt like we need to stop for a while and let's try a different approach. And this particular little 36-inch $1.50 balloon, there's one that's gone around 7 times right now. Now that's very unusual. Normally they don't make it around once, but we've flown a few of these in the past. We've had them crash near Japan and places like that, Poland. But this is a tandem deal. We've got 2 balloons together. That doubles our risk, though. If either balloon goes down, we lose it because one balloon can't hold the weight of both of them. So it doubles our risk, but it gets us a little bit more altitude. My biggest worry right now is the storms. I'm seeing cloud tops of storms in the 30,000 feet range, and that's where we're flying. So if we should be unlucky and hit a storm, we're going to come down. So our main thing is luck. We got to have luck if we're going to make it.
Yeah, it seems like you had an issue with those SBSs right at 41,000 feet.
I'm not going to say anything about it. There's no way to prove what's going on. We've lost 2 or 3 or 4 of those. There's been other people that lost them at the same altitude. The reports kept coming in where actually people were starting to write the company and tell them they wanted their money back or swap their balloons. But I don't think you could ever prove that it's it's a balloon quality issue. It's just there's major stress and major things going on up there in the air.
Yeah,
you're up against Mother Nature, and let me tell you, Mother Nature is a big person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and let's face it, even under optimum conditions, it's still, the odds are 1 in 10 of it surviving.
Well, when we started flying these 2 years ago, we felt that it was going to take 10 tries to get around the world, and we made it. We made it around the world on number 9.
Yeah.
We made it around 3.5 times on number 9, and we made it again on one of them. I forget how many. Now, I think the last 9 or 10 flights we haven't made it, so it's time to do it again. And we're betting right now on the ants and these 2 little $1.49 balloons. We're going to make it around the world. It's going to be a tough trip. It's going to be an exciting trip. They're going to be fighting all the way, trying to hold that thing together. But I think we're going to make it around the world. I don't know.
Well, you got to make it past these storms first.
Yeah, and they wasn't looking too good. I'm going to pull them up here. Let's see. So most of the storms right now, with it being winter, most of the big storms are below the equator, but they're starting to move up to the north here. And I'm going to bring up a program here. Let's see. This is called Windy, and where the cursor is right now, you can see the cursor. That's about where we are right now. Bermuda's right there, so we're somewhere in this area here. So I'm gonna look at here winds on this program, and let's see. Oh, and I got to take the altitude up right now. I'm on surface, so So I'm going to go up to about 9,000 meters. That's about where we are. So I'm going to go to 9,000 meters. Hard to read that. That's 10,000. Okay, there we go, right there. There's 9,000 meters. Now, if you look at this, I'm going to put the mouse over this. We're about right here, right now, and that speed of that wind is about 66 miles per hour. But look what happens if I get up here in this white. 106. 134 miles an hour. 137. So it just keeps going. So and it gets pretty fast. It looks like what we're going to do here is we're taking this path. Our predicted path is going to take us a big curve. It looks like we're going to go over Greenland, and we're going to curve, and we're going to come back down over. Well, it's hard to tell what I'm even looking at here. I think the UK is right here. We're going to come down near the UK. We may go over St. Petersburg right here in Russia. I don't know. Now, let me show you what cloud tops look like. Here's the problem. Here's what I'm worried about. I'm going to go to cloud tops right here. All right. Doesn't look too bad right now. Here's the U.S. Now, we're going this way. I'm going to click on this little red spot. Cloud tops right now are 38,500 right there. And we're only flying at 31,000. Let's see what we got here. There's 30. See, even that's 32,000 clouds right there. So we're still down in this area. I'm thinking we're right along in here right now. Somewhere right along here. The clouds are
So it seems that's the problem, right, Tom? I don't think that the wind speed is the problem because I know nothing about balloons, but the balloon would go like inside in a like in the whole mass of air, the balloon. So I don't. It's not like you're.
No, it's not turbulence or anything.
Exactly,
it's
that's
all moving. It's all moving very smoothly together.
Yeah. So I don't think the wind speed is a problem, but the
cloud
having clouds,
the storms
over the balloon, it's a problem.
See, if it gets any moisture, at all on it, it will come down.
Kaput.
It can't stay up. If you're in storm clouds, there is turbulence in storm clouds, and it will come down. So we don't know. I don't know if the ants can steer around those storms, we might make it.
Mm-hmm.
We might make
So how long can they tread water?
Well, they got a life raft with them, so they've had to use that a few times. So I don't know. We'll let's see. In the morning we'll just see. Used to when we first started launching these, every morning I'd get up, I'd run to check, or I'd get up in the middle of the night to check and see where it was. But it's getting so routine now that I don't even worry about it. I'll go have breakfast first, and then I'll check and see if they're still flying.
This morning I forgot that I turned my radio off last night because 20 meters is dead at night, but I got up and it's like, I probably missed a couple hours this morning. I ran out there, turned it back on, and was hoping I would see something. So
yeah. Well, right there, Chris is telling me massive winter storm in England and Scotland right now, and that's kind of where we're heading. Let's see. Of course, it doesn't look too bad on this map here, this deal here, but we'll see. Let's see. What would happen if it had a third balloon? Well, if it had a third balloon, it would be 3 times likely to come down instead of 2 times likely. Every time we add another balloon, the risk doubles. If any single balloon deflates or has a problem, the other balloons cannot hold it up. It will bring all of them down. So, again, the reason we went with 2 balloons this time was to gain an extra 3,000. If we ran a third balloon, we might gain 1,000 more feet. By adding a second balloon, we were able to gain about 3,000 feet. So one balloon would have been about 28,000. With two balloons, we're about 31,000 right now. You don't gain anything by keep adding balloons. You just don't keep adding it. So
3,000 feet. It's a nice extra. You will be getting better chances, but no, adding another balloon won't help too much, right?
Well, it increases the risk of it coming down, and it won't help. It won't help much. It won't help much. And hey, even though we're flying at 31,000 feet, if there's a storm at 25, let me tell you, it can still pull it down. It can still suck that balloon down in there, you know. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It's going to be fun. You know, one of the problems in going up really north like this. Let me put it back on. I'll show you. Let me go back to the jet stream. Yeah, so again, here's the United States here where my mouse is. And we go up. There we are going over Greenland. As we go north up there, we're very much further north in latitude. And the sun angle is going to be very much lower. The sun may not get higher than 12 degrees there, even at the peak of the day. The sun is always going to be low up there. So we'll probably lose a few hours of tracking as we go north. We may only get 2 hours of tracking a day up there. But as we come back down, we'll get longer tracking days. Does the colder weather affect the lift? I don't know that it affects the lift too much. Of course, the cold can affect the expansion of the hydrogen gas that's in the balloon. We always use hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas will take us about 10% higher than helium will. So again, hydrogen gas gives us about 3,000 more feet. If we use party gas is really a poor quality gas mixture of air and helium, and it doesn't do well. If you get pure helium will probably do a couple thousand feet more than party helium will do. But hydrogen will always take us about 2,000 or 3,000 feet higher than the helium will. But the coal,
and it's less expensive, right?
Helium costs more.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, helium is a rare element, a rare element on Earth. You know, it's scarce. You know, it's made by gases going through radioactive decay, and that's how they get it. And once you get that gas and you put it in a balloon or you let it go, it actually leaves the Earth. It goes into the space. It'll actually go through the atmosphere, and it'll actually leave the Earth. You know, it can't be recovered. The thing about hydrogen is we have a real big abundance of hydrogen. You know, you can make hydrogen, and everything has hydrogen in it. You know but hydrogen is running us quite a bit cheaper than the helium is.
So it's a bit more dangerous, right, to handle?
Well, a little bit. Now, we still have all of our fingers. Well, let's see. Yeah, we still have all of our fingers. 1, 2. Yeah, we still have all of them.
Well, I've saw some videos. You know, these failed video compilations you have in YouTube. That there's some people that use hydrogen in birthday party balloons, and when they light the candles on the cake, the balloons all go.
Well, I saw a guy test one the other day. He had a big balloon filled with hydrogen, and he lit it. He took a torch and he lit it, and it basically just burned. It didn't explode. It just burned.
No, of course, it doesn't explode.
Yeah.
It burns.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous, right?
Yeah, it is, and I always wonder about that. Like at parties, you know, that would. I mean, I'm very conscious that it is a somewhat dangerous gas to play with. And I know when I'm filling the balloon up, I've got this little Harbor Freight air blower thing, you know, I go through, the little valve. And when I'm filling the balloon up, the valve right here is leaking. I can feel the hydrogen coming out around my hand, you know. So I'm putting hydrogen also into my shop when I'm filling the balloon.
So the Hindenburg, that just burned. I guess it didn't really explode, did it?
Yeah, it burned. Yeah.
Yeah, they determined that the doping that they used on the cloth was highly volatile.
Yeah,
it's a mixture of things, right? It's not only because of the hydrogen that I think what they found is that the fire didn't even start in the hydrogen. That, like, the paint was really flammable too.
Yeah, it was an aluminum oxide type paint.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a mixture of air and hydrogen, it will explode. But pure hydrogen won't explode. It basically just burns. So now, if a balloon bursts or something, I mean, sure, you're going to get a little bit of oxygen around it, but it's going to be probably burned up before the oxygen mixes with it, you know.
Yeah, well, they said static electricity just set it off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you talk about static electricity. I remember we were filling one of the balloons up last winter there in the shop, and the hair on our arms were standing straight up, and our hair was standing straight up as we were filling the balloon up, and we thought, you know, that's probably static electricity there. So, but we were okay.
Well, talking about digital modes earlier.
Yeah.
I remember I assembled the Geiger counter, and to my, I have it here, to my nothing is radioactive here. Nothing. Yeah. I went everywhere with my counter and nothing is radioactive.
Well, that's terrible. That's terrible to buy a Geiger counter and you can't find anything to test it with.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know that in Amazon there are some cards that you can buy for calibration.
Yeah.
But I think I cannot import that directly via mail.
Can you buy a
radioactive symbol like that?
Can you buy a watch that has the glowing hands?
Well, everything I tested didn't show much activity. So, but remember that together with this, I also brought the QDX kit from QRP Labs, and so yesterday, before yesterday, it was late at night, and you know you have to have this to start building a kit. But after you start, it's okay, but to start building, you have to have like this peace of mind and say, okay, I'll start. And I laid out everything. This guy, Hans Summers from QRP Labs, makes great instruction PDFs for building the kit. So he has a picture of all the parts and everything that you print out and lay down and everything.
Yeah.
And everything went exactly in place except the 4 output transistors that didn't came in the kit.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So I said,
well, I haven't built it, but I hear the most difficult piece of that is wiring the toroid. You have to wire
but for that I use a video that Alan made a long time ago that he teaches how to count the turns.
It's a
multi-filler one that you have
multi-filler, yeah. And you got to make sure you get them all hooked to the right place. So
yes.
Yeah.
but then I saw that I had the transistors missing, and there are these MOSFETs that it's a
MOSFET?
common
MOSFET?
one.
What?
Sorry?
Which ones are they? MOSFET.
BS, like Bravo Sierra 170.
Oh, I got a whole package of those right here.
Yeah, so send me some, because here in Uruguay they don't exist. And then I went to DigiKey and they don't have it. Is
that right?
Yeah, they're very common, you know.
Oh man,
no stock.
When I was building the little amplifier for the balloon, you know, the little 100 milliwatt, that's what I was using, the BS 170s. So I bought like 25 of them or something. Now these are the small. Are the ones you needing? Are they just little small plastic ones with the 3 leads?
The TO92, yes.
TO. What's the TO? Is that the big one with the hole through it?
No, that's
that's TO220.
Oh, okay.
TO220, it's like the 75,
okay,
the 7805, and those transistors, you know. But the TO92, it's like this one.
Yeah.
It's like
the little 2N22.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I've got. I guess they're 92s. The TO92s. I got. What do you need? The 92s? I mean,
the through hole one.
What do you
it's
need?
not surface mount.
You need the TO92s?
Yeah.
No. What do you need, Charlie?
No, it's BS 170.
Okay. I think I've got some of those too. Yeah.
So. Yeah, but you know the problem here is getting it into the country.
What can I get into your country? Can I send you an apple or a banana, or I mean, what can
once I made an experiment and I imported a cake.
What can I send you? What goes through easily, huh?
Send a balloon.
How about a jar? Do you have? What about peanut butter? Can you receive?
There are some restrictions, believe it or not. Like for example, medicine you cannot import. There's some things like some chemicals. I once wanted to bring how it's called dioxide, right?
Yeah.
Dioxide, and I bought it and everything. And it was in the customs. They stopped it. You cannot get some chemicals. You cannot bring. For example, you know this like if you want to buy glasses with which are sunglasses, you can buy, but which are for reading or graded. Yes, you cannot bring them.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, because there's something that protects, you know, local manufacturers.
Yeah,
I don't know. And if you bring things with that are transmitters and GPS receivers that nobody understands why, you have to have a homologation certificate from the local FCC, which is called URSEC. But it's quite easy to do. You do it online and they give you the certificate. So it's an extra step.
You know the game Monopoly. You know that game?
Yeah,
Monopoly?
of course.
Well, during World War II, the prisoners in these prison camps, the Red Cross would give them these Monopoly games. But inside the Monopoly games, they had maps and other things hidden inside there. So if you could take a Monopoly game, I might be able to get you some transistors.
Yeah, instead of the houses and all those, it's a Monopoly game made of transistors.
Yeah. Maybe the little things you move around, the little men you move around, you put some transistors in there. Yeah.
You know, put some RTV inside the bottom of the hotels and stick the transistor inside the RTV. Let it seal all up and ship it.
I mean, to tell you the truth, it's not that we have a difficulty to import anything. It's not that we have closed customs. You know that the thing is that we have, like, if you're for each person, if you're a business, that's another issue. But a normal person can bring 3 times a year. You can bring up to $200. So that's the problem. You want to buy something that costs $300, like a low-end oscilloscope, and you cannot bring it because you exceed the $300 mark, the $200 mark.
I think the time limit has expired, so I will tell you a quick story. I used to travel a lot, and I every few months I'd go like to Hong Kong. Okay, and let me tell you, you can walk down the streets in Hong Kong, and like every glass store, it's got radios and ham radios and just radios and everything. You can get anything. Anyway, I bought this knockoff Rolex watch. You know what a knockoff means? Knockoff Rolex watch. Yes. I bought one, and I had it on. So I get back to the States, and I'm standing there at customs and immigration, and he asked me. He says, "Have you had that watch very long?" And I said, "Have you had that watch for a while?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I've had it for a while." And then I get to walk on through, but he questioned my watch, man. I don't think they can get me now, but hey, you know, hey, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Well, guys, it's after 10 o'clock. We've already signed off on shortwave. I'm getting hungry. I hadn't ate much today. I'm thinking about some popcorn or something, man. Oh. And then tomorrow, I got to get up and get some leaves up. I got 80,000 tons of leaves around this place, man, that are coming off the trees. But I've got this big thing called a cyclone rake. It goes behind my lawn tractor. It's a great big vacuum cleaner. And I can drive that thing around in the yard, and, man, it'll suck those suckers up, man. It's just like, yeah, it'll just... It takes.
And what do you do with the leaves?
Well, believe it or not, our city here has leaf pickup. I can take them out to the street, and people here in my neighborhood are pouring them out on the street, edge of the street, and they have a big truck that comes by every day or two with the big vacuum on it, and they suck all those up. But mine are mulched up and ground up with my machine. And I just take it out back, and I just dump it out kind of into the forest, you know, back behind my house here.
Oh, I see.
And it makes...
I don't have a tree in my yard, and I get 18 bags of pine needles every year.
Oh, man, I hated the pine needles, man. That's bad, man. Pine needles is bad.
My wife would love that mulch for her garden.
Man, I mean, I've got tons of it back here. Tons of it. All right, well, guys, I'm gonna get off here and go, and enjoyed talking to you tonight. We'll see you next week.
Okay, great.
If you guys want to stay on talk, I'll leave Zoom on.
Yep, I'm leaving.
All right.
1 a.m. and I have to go to bed.
All right.
So
I'm gonna go get some chocolate.
All right, good night.
Cheers.
And everybody get up tomorrow and look for W5KUB 104, see if it's still flying.
All right.
Okay.
I hope it is.
I'll see you.
All right, we'll see you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
Ciao.